As most of you know, I travel to Nigeria often. In fact, when I was still single and living in the UK, I traveled to Nigeria 4 times a year. That's the only way I could survive the UK. If you've watched my UK versus Spain video, you will understand what I'm saying. When I started having kids, it didn't stop. Kamsi was born in 2008. He traveled to Nigeria for the first time in 2009. He traveled again in 2010 before Ned was born, and after Ned was born, I think we traveled in 2012. In fact, from 2016, we've been traveling to Nigeria every single year. In 2019, I traveled only with Kamsi. In 2020, we didn't travel because you know why. 21 we did, 22 we did. So I've had my fair share of traveling to Nigeria with kids a lot. And with these kinds of questions always popping up in my videos, whenever you guys see me in Nigeria, it's high time I made a video. So here are my tips for traveling to Nigeria with young children and you will enjoy your trip. This list is not exhaustive, but they're a good starting point. Number one, when I first wanted to travel with Kamsi to Nigeria, I spoke with his pediatrician who advised me to get a yellow fever vaccine. This is a very important tip because it didn't even occur to me, that I'm traveling to a yellow fever prone place. These kids, especially if they are born outside Africa, outside Nigeria, it's good to give them yellow fever vaccine. It's not a requirement. So yeah, even if you do not give your children yellow fever vaccine, they are Nigerians. When they come into Nigeria, they won't be asked for yellow fever vaccine. But it's good for your own good, for your own children's good, as a preventive measure to give them yellow fever vaccine. Speak with your kid's pediatrician. Where I live, the vaccine is given by a special government body. You can equate that body to the Center for Disease Control in Nigeria. So just speak with your kid's pediatrician. The second medicine that she recommended that I gave to Kamsi was anti-malarial drugs. For those in the US, that would be anti-malarial drugs. You don't have malaria yet, but just a producer. It's just like a preventive measure for malaria. A lot of people don't like taking it because the anti-malarial drugs work in such a way to simulate malaria in your body, so it makes you sick so that they cannot develop the antibodies or whatever. So some people don't like taking it. Again, speak with your kid's pediatrician. These two, the vaccine, the yellow fever vaccine and the anti-malaria medicine, they have a minimum number of days you have to take them before you travel so that they will be effective. For instance, the yellow fever vaccine, I think you have to have taken the vaccine a minimum of 10 days before you travel so that it would have been taking effect in your body before you travel. Clothing. Nigeria is in a very warm place, on the equator. So pack clothes for very warm weather. Think cotton clothes that will allow their skin breathe, spaghetti strap tops, shorts, summer dresses, t-shirts, cotton. Think cotton at all times. For footwear, I would go with, those kinds of sandals that cover the toes so that their feet can still breathe while they're playing around, their toes are protected. Not sneakers that you have to wear with socks and all that. It makes children sweat and they feel uncomfortable. So buy those cover toe sandals for them. The weather in Nigeria is so hot that even during the coldest months, children still feel hot. At least my children. The coldest months in Nigeria, in southern Nigeria, is during the rainy season. The peak of rainy season, July, August, September. That's the coldest month when it rains every single day. But they still don't need any kind of sweater. They just wear cotton t-shirts on those days. They may need a duvet at night, but they're always sweating. So bear that in mind when packing for Nigeria. At most, bring maybe one sweater, but trust me, you may never use it because it's not necessary. I understand that some of you want to cover your kids a lot, but for my own kids, they were always sweating. They've been to Nigeria during the coldest seasons, during the peak of rainy season, during Harmattan, and they never felt so cold to wear sweaters. Not even a jeans jacket. No, never. Buy anti-malaria sprays or anti-malaria sprays for those in the US. This one. This is the one that you can spray on your body. So this prevents, so spray it all over their body where it's exposed, avoiding their face. No need, mosquitoes don't bite you on the face hardly because by the time they come to your face, you can hear them. Either you chase them away. Their legs. So because you know they're wearing summer clothes, shorts and all that, so a lot of skin is exposed. So spray this on them. In fact, as soon as you land, you know how when you're traveling with small children, when you land, you're not in a hurry, or you shouldn't be in a hurry to leave the aircraft. Normally, you should allow all the other passengers to disembark so that you can gingerly pack your stuff, you know, make sure you didn't forget anything in your seat, and then leave with your kids. So during that time, it's the time for you to remove all the sweater and whatever they were wearing for the trip, and then change them into something, you know, something that I described earlier, and then spray these on them before you leave the aircraft. I'm telling you, they need them right from the time they leave the aircraft so that they don't get all these mosquito bites. You don't want them to have malaria while you're in Nigeria. You don't want them to have a fever. I don't want them to have red spots on their skin. No, you don't want that. So spray this. This is safe for the skin, and it comes like this one comes in 100 mils. So it can fit in your hand luggage. It's allowed in your, they allow liquids up to 100 mils in your hand luggage. Where I live in Spain, we buy this from Alcampo supermarket. For those in France, that would be Alchan supermarket. And it's also sold in sports shops because this is used by campers when they go camping, you know, in the forest. So they can use this to spray. This chases away sandflies as well, any of these things that bite children. And you know, all these mosquitoes, Nigerian mosquitoes and sandflies, they like fresh blood. Fresh in the sense that if they haven't seen you, it's like they have a sense for who they haven't seen before. They will leave every other person and come for you. So spray these things, it will help. This one lasts for 6 hours, so every 6 hours you can spray. It's still effective for up to 6 hours, so it's good. It has expiry date, so check. Like this one is going to expire in 2024, so check for expiry dates when you buy it where you live, so you'll be sure it will cover the duration of your stay in Nigeria. These days they no longer ask for COVID vaccination certificates, but there's still a health form that you have to fill online before you travel to Nigeria. These days, even if you don't fill it, when you arrive, they give you a card, a yellow card to fill right there at the airport. But you know, you're traveling with young children, and inside the terminal building of, especially if you're coming in through Lagos, through Murtala Mohammed Airport, I don't know about other airports, that airport is an oven, the terminal building. As soon as you get off, it's an oven. So you want to spend as little time as possible inside the terminal building. So make sure you fill your forms online. Check the description box. I'll put the links of everything that I'm talking, like anything that has a link, I'll put it there. Fill the forms online. I mean, for my sister that is asking about young children, you'll be filling for 3 people plus you. If you're traveling with your partner, that's 5 of you at least. So those forms, you don't want to be filling them, wasting time filling them. So fill them online. They will send the certificates to your email address. Download it on your phone so that you wouldn't need internet to open it at the airport. So when you arrive, there's a QR code there. So open it on your phone, show it to them, and they will scan it. So no need to print it. If you want, you can print it, but there's no need to print it, because if you don't do this, when you arrive, they will give you a yellow card to be filling at the airport. You don't want to be doing that in that hot place with little children. After that health zone, the next place to go to is the immigration area. That immigration area, if that health zone is an oven, that immigration area is hellfire. So make sure you go. If anywhere you see a queue, even if there's nobody there telling you go to the front of the queue with little children, please make your way to the front of the queue. You know, politely, stop slaying people as you're going. Yeah, make your way to the front of the queue. On a same day, they will have a separate queue for those with young children. But if they don't have it, please make your way to the front of the queue. Sometimes you need to teach them their jobs in this country. And get your passport stamped. And the next place is the baggage area. When you get to the baggage area, find the kiosk, a small kiosk where they sell the tickets for the trolleys. Yes, we pay for trolleys in Nigeria. There are 2 types of trolleys you'll find there. There's the small one that can take like 2 boxes, you know, for people traveling alone. But if you're traveling with young children as a family, I'm guessing that you're coming in with a lot of boxes. So hire the big one that comes with a trolley service. That one costs about 2,500 Naira. I think the small one is 250 Naira. So that one comes with a trolley service. The trolley service means that they will give you someone, a worker there, that will push the trolley for you. The person will help you. You know, when you get to the carousel, You point at your bag, and the person will pull it out and put it on that trolley, big trolley. And when you found all your bags, the person will push that trolley to the car park for you, where I believe your relatives are waiting for you. So yeah, that's it's better to get that one when you're traveling with young children and with a large number of boxes. Another thing to pack before you travel is children's paracetamol. I also pack ibuprofen. This paracetamol is helpful because, one, you have it handy. You can have it in your hand luggage because they come in small containers of less than 100 mils. You have it in your hand luggage. For some children, cry a lot while on the plane because, you know, due to pressure on the plane, they have their ears are painful, so they will be crying. You'll be wondering what's happening to the kid. You can give them paracetamol. You can even give them before you board the aircraft to prevent it, rather than have them cry first before you give it to them, and it may take some time for the medicine to take effect. Also, for when you're in Nigeria, when they have headaches or pains or a fever, as a form of first aid before you take them to hospital. And that reminds me, before you even travel to Nigeria, you can find a children's hospital, a good children's hospital around where you will be staying in Nigeria. You can ask friends and relatives to find a good children's hospital so that you have that in mind as somewhere to go to in case of emergency. You know, children can be sick in Nigeria, you know, the stress of the trip, the change of environment. So you have somewhere to go straight to, rather than when they're sick, you start researching. You can also pack this simple thermometer. I have it with me whenever I'm traveling, so that you can check their temperature, so that you can differentiate between being hot because they're sweating or they're just hot for the weather, and when they have a fever. So I have that thermometer. It's very slim. You can easily pack it in your bag so that you're sure, you know, of their temperature. You know, when it gets to 38 degrees, anything 38 degrees Celsius, it is fever. So take them to the hospital. Another thing, bring entertainment for your kids. Before you travel, load their tablets with their favorite apps, children games and all that, educational, whatever. Because, you know, I don't know, it depends on your circumstances anyways. Some people will come in and go straight into a home that has full-on Wi-Fi, so the children can have a seamless integration into Nigeria. But sometimes when you come back, they don't have that kind of access. You need to get your own data on your phone before you can share it with them. So it depends on your circumstances. So come prepared so that the kids will not be bored. I hope I've touched everything. Then while you're in Nigeria, just take note of all these tiny things. You know, if you missed out on anything, if you didn't come prepared, and you feel that, oh, I would have prepared better, I would have done this before coming back, then take a note of it so that next time you come back with your kids, you will prepare for that as well. I hope you found this video helpful. I wish you a nice stay, enjoyable stay in Nigeria. Have a safe trip.